The voicemail that shouldn't exist. They say the human voice is the most personal thing we own. It carries emotion, memory, soul. But what happens when a voice keeps talking after the person is gone? This is the story of Evan Hale, a sound engineer who discovered an audio file that shouldn't exist, a voicemail that called itself back. He didn't believe in curses. He believed in data, and that's what destroyed him. This is Chron, where truth echoes back. Tonight's story, the voicemail that shouldn't exist. Chapter 1. The Discovery. Evan Hale worked the night shift for a small telecom company that archived old voicemail servers. Most of his job was deleting unused files and clearing out old recordings from outdated systems. Routine. Easy. Until he found a folder that wasn't supposed to exist. It was labeled Callback 02, hidden inside the server logs. Last modified, 3 years after the system was shut down. Inside that folder was a single audio file, Callback 02, Wave. He almost deleted it without listening. Almost, but when he hit play, he heard a woman's voice whisper, "Evan, please don't answer." The voice knew his name, and it came from his work number. Chapter 2. The Message. The voicemail was 17 seconds long. At first it sounded normal, static, breathing, faint crying. Then a man's voice came in muffled saying, "If you hear this, don't call back." Evan checked the metadata. The timestamp showed it had been recorded 2 days in the future. He tried to trace it. The call logs were empty. No source. No destination. He thought maybe someone at work was messing with him. But then, the file duplicated itself. Another copy appeared on his desktop. Same name, new timestamp. And this time, the voice said, "You already answered." Chapter 3. The First Callback. Evan couldn't shake it. He loaded the file into his editing software, scanning the waveform. At the 8-second mark, there was a strange signal embedded in the sound. A frequency spike too high for human hearing. He slowed it down. Underneath the main recording, buried in the static, he heard faint words repeated backwards. He's listening. That night his phone rang at 3:17 a.m. Unknown number. He didn't answer. But the voicemail icon appeared immediately after. The message was blank, except for the sound of his own breathing. He checked the caller ID. It came from his own number. Chapter 4. The Pattern. The next day, Evan told his co-worker Maya. She didn't believe him until he sent her the file. She called him 5 minutes later, whispering, "Evan, it called me back." He thought she was joking. But then her voice distorted through the line, glitchy, layered, wrong. The call cut off. When he tried to reach her again, her number was disconnected. He drove to her apartment. The door was open. Her phone was on the floor, screen cracked, still recording. The last entry in her call log said, "Incoming callback 02, wave," and in the background of the recording he heard his own voice whisper, "Don't listen." Chapter 5. The Copycat Signal. By the next morning, the file had spread through the office network. Hundreds of duplicates appeared, some only a few kilobytes, others corrupted and glitched. The IT team wiped every drive, but new ones kept generating themselves. Each time the file name changed slightly, callback 03, callback 04, callback 05, and the message got shorter. It was as if the sound was evolving, learning. Eventually the files stopped saying his name. They just whispered, "Next." Chapter 6. The Testing. Evan became obsessed. He isolated the hidden frequency and played it through a spectrogram. It wasn't random static. It formed a pattern, almost like a face distorted through sound. He tested it through speakers, headphones, even through his phone mic. Each time, the audio glitched differently. But no matter what device he used, the recording responded. After playing it on loop for an hour, he received a new message. A woman's voice, same tone as before. "You heard me now." The timestamp showed the call had been made 1 minute before he started playing the file. The voicemail was happening in reverse. Chapter 7. The Echo Network. 2 days later, employees began quitting. They said the phones rang even when unplugged. They said the ringing sound didn't come from speakers, it came from inside their heads. The company shut down operations, wiped the servers, and locked the building. But that night, Evan returned with his own recorder. He wanted proof. He needed to know what the voice wanted. When he entered the server room, every light on the consoles flickered in unison. And then his phone vibrated. No ringtone, just a text. From callback 02.12, it said, "Playback started." He looked up. The monitors all displayed his face. Dozens of live feeds from cameras that didn't exist. Each one showed him standing there, and something standing behind him. Chapter 8. The Final Transmission. Evan's recorder was recovered from the site 2 days later. No sign of him. The audio log runs exactly 17 minutes. In the first 10 minutes, you can hear his footsteps, his breathing, his typing. At minute 11, a second voice joins. It sounds identical to Evan's, but reversed, layered with static. At minute 15, both voices speak in sync. "You called me, now I'm answering." And then silence, until the final second when a third voice, calm, clear and female, whispers, "Your voicemail has been delivered." The file ends there. Chapter 9. The Reappearance. A month later, a new folder appeared on the same Telecom server. Callback 03, same structure, same timestamps. Inside was a single file, Callback 03, Wave. This time the metadata listed a new owner. The name field read Hale E, deceased. And next to it, a list of 42 email addresses. Everyone belonged to someone who had opened the first file. Every single one received a new voicemail that night. The same message, repeating endlessly, "Don't answer." Chapter 10. The Final Echo. People still report finding the file online, sometimes attached to old call recordings, sometimes in the cache of deleted apps, always named Callback. Wave. They say if you listen closely to the end of the clip, you can hear breathing, and then your own name. And if you delete it, it reappears, always with the same timestamp, always from your own number. So if you ever get a voicemail from yourself, don't play it. Don't try to trace it. And whatever you do, don't call back. Because once you do, you'll hear it say, "You already did." This is Chron, where truth echoes back.